On September 27, 2021, at the scrapyard by the bridge, I saw this bike for the first time. I felt it was perfect for modification, and I happened to have time. So I spent 400 yuan and pushed it home. My clone and I still followed our usual custom bike routine, first completely stripping it down and checking all the parts. As you can see, it was a complete mess. Almost every part on the whole bike needed refurbishment. I planned to turn this bike into something more playful. Not like that CB40 again, which I turned into solid black, or like this one in pure silver. This time I also wanted this bike to include some of your favorite green. I used a pressure washer to roughly wash the grease off the frame. This is a 1984 bike imported from Japan, brought in back then. It is several years older than me, so it is normal for the frame to be a bit rotten, just as normal as my so-called telekinesis. I cut off all the brackets on the frame that I felt were in the way, all kinds of unnecessary attachments, including the rear rack. That also makes it easier later for me to define the overall lines of the bike. Now the frame looks much cleaner. This is the front wheel. The tire was still made in 2003. The rim and the spokes were already heavily rusted. They all needed to be completely refurbished. This is the blasting cabinet I built last summer, especially for cleaning irregular shaped parts like this. This time it really came in handy. After cleaning, the surface was very clean. I was very satisfied with the result. I went ahead and sprayed it matte black. That way, when assembling later, I would not have to mask and paint again. Now the front and rear wheels have been rebuilt. The main pieces of the bike are starting to take shape. It is one step closer to the look I want. These are the front forks. They probably have never been serviced since leaving the factory. Now they are leaking badly. Fortunately, the quality of this bike is excellent. The damping feel and all the internals have hardly any wear. I just need to replace the oil seals. Luckily, I managed to get a set of original seals. I temporarily mounted the repaired forks back on the bike and started working on the engine. Although I am not a professional mechanic, for me, fixing a single-cylinder two-stroke engine like this is not a big problem. I just need to be careful and reassemble it exactly the way I took it apart. I have now completely torn down this engine. The piston and cylinder have deep scoring marks. They are far too deep. There is no point trying to repair them. Some of the gears have a bit of wear, but that will not affect use. What gives me the biggest headache is cleaning this pile of parts. They are just too dirty, and there is a huge amount of work in order to thoroughly clean all the sludge inside the engine and remove it completely. I once again summoned my clone to help. My clone and I spent almost a whole day to finally get all the grime cleaned off. I promise you guys, I do not have OCD. I just like to line up all these parts neatly. That also makes it easier later when I reinstall the engine. This is a stroke crankshaft that has been modified for more displacement. I got it from that friend who only plays with old bikes. According to his theory, once this crank goes in, the displacement of this engine can reach more than 175 cc. When I was stripping the engine, I already felt that the internal structure looked quite beautiful, so I planned to expose all of it. Later, it really took a huge effort to hollow out both side covers and inlay glass panels. Now the engine has been fully rebuilt. With these side covers installed, the whole bike looks a level more refined. This is the original fuel tank. Now it looks really out of place. Maybe because the red is a bit odd, or because there is no rear seat yet. So I sped things up, fabricated a rear subframe, and fitted a ready-made seat that I bought online from Lalma to see how it would look. Friendly reminder: put on your sunglasses. At first I thought the problem was just not having a rear seat installed, which made the whole bike look imbalanced. But now even with the seat on, it still looks off. Then I suspected it was because there was no handlebar. But after fitting the handlebar, the bike still felt quite awkward. At that moment, I finally realized the problem might be the shape of the tank. So, I started trying different styles of fuel tanks until I found this one. That is right, this crisp style. Clean, simple, and pretty. Now the overall design of the bike is finalized. I am going to strip it all down again and paint it in your favorite shade of green. And to speed things up, I once again summoned my clone to help. It is now 1:24 in the morning. This 1984 Suzuki GS125 has been completely taken apart by me again. Now, I am going to prep the frame and tank to get ready for painting tomorrow. I think this slightly pinkish green is exactly the green you like. Now the whole bike has been painted. Let us go assemble it. After more than 3 months of work, the bike has finally been built to my liking. The custom job is done. Although the whole bike looks pastel green, the chunky pattern tires front and rear keep it from looking too soft. I also made the engine side covers into transparent windows, and the oil reservoir is also acrylic and transparent. This makes the whole bike look much more high-end. Come on, let us go test ride it. This is the story of me and the green AX100. Tomorrow, I will show you a BMW to stroke with 10 times the displacement and the story between us.